privilege today to introduce Ricky Anderson. Ricky Anderson, to some, is probably very unassuming. I assume that he's somewhat of a country boy, but he's a lovely country boy, I must admit. He is a man, he is the man, I must say. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ricky that's not legal. It has nothing to do with the law. And this is an important lesson. When I think of Ricky Anderson, he's kind, he's patient, he's supportive, he's giving, he's loving. Nothing to do with the law. He's paid, he's resourceful, he's creative. He's a leader, he's a trusted advisor, he's an expert. He's conquered his fears, he's mastered his craft, he's achieved greatness. He's scholarly, he's thoughtful, he's sincere. He's a proud member of Omega Psi Phi, I must say. And your success is his success. And he's a proud graduate of historically black institutions, Prairie View A&M and Texas Southern University School of Law. Ricky is a professor at the Thurgood Marshall School of Law, his alma mater. Can't be any better than that, to teach those that have come behind you at your alma mater. He's Mr. Houston. You can't go there without anyone and everyone in the legal community knowing Ricky Anderson. He's Mr. NBA, and I'm talking about the National Bar Association, which is the black lawyers in the United States. It was founded in 1925. It should be a big part of your journey in law school and thereafter. He's a quiet force. He is really a kingmaker. When you see leaders walking around different circles, Ricky is likely responsible for that, if not in full and part. He's mastered music, he's mastered film, he's mastered television, he's mastered radio, he's mastered literature. And when you watch TV, most of the times you're watching someone who Ricky represents. When you hear gospel music, you're watching someone that Ricky Anderson represents or listening to. You know, when you hear R&B, you're hearing Ricky Anderson's influence. And their success is in part because of his great legal strategy and great legal work. He's an author. We at the National Bar Association have recognized him as Attorney of the Year, and if we could do that year after year, we would, because he's deserving of it. He's won numerous presidential awards. He chairs our entertainment and sports law section, and he's a Grammys governor from 2007 to 2010. And he's tied in with the Grammys as an advisor with the Texas chapter. And so no one has reached greater heights in their profession. No one is as giving. This is a true treat. Come on up, Ricky. We appreciate you.
Wow. Good morning. Oh no, I have to act like I was listening to Paula earlier. Good morning.
Good morning.
Right, that's a little bit better. First of all, I'd like to thank God for my being here, but got a little protocol I've got to take this morning. And also, Attorney Evangeline Mitchell, I think she deserves a round of applause. What she does year after year. And I was one of her keynote speakers on the first year of this event, and I looked at it grow, and it still amazes me when we see these young, eager minds that are interested in the legal profession. So I start off with saying certainly thank you to her. Attorney Joe Drayton that just introduced me, our president-elect of the National Bar Association. I think he just gave you all some words of wisdom that are worthy of an applause. Please. For the kind words that you shared regarding me, and I'm going to certainly make sure that I share some of the things about becoming a lawyer, and what the future of lawyers really are. But before I go any further, Seth did the actual benediction, so to speak. Is Seth still in the room? Seth, did he leave? I wanted to acknowledge him because he said a great prayer. And my mother wanted me to be a minister. And I told her I represent gospel artists, so I'm getting a little closer to the pulpit, but I wanted to at least acknowledge Seth for his very kind and endearing word. And Fiona, Gianna, and Terrian, when I hear the stories about law students, it lets me know that 30 years ago when I was in law school, it hadn't gotten any easier. And for those of you in the audience, get prepared and buckle in. And I say from personal experience that you should salute these law students in NYU for having you here this morning. My daughter graduated undergrad from NYU 3 years ago. She's a third-year law student out at UCLA. So I get the privilege of coming here today, and I'm not paying tuition here, so this is a real nice treat for me to come over to NYU. But I thank you. Paula Edgar, I've got to say thank you for what you shared and the leadership that you've taken with this local bar. Please give it up. And I say it sounds easy when she delivers it to you, but it's quite a job ahead of you, because I too am going to echo the sentiments of them. You all are our future lawyers. So I want to make sure that I give homage to those that are making contributions today. And I'm going to take this one other point of executive privilege, because I know when Terrian came up to the mic, he said that he was a United States veteran. And I think anytime there's a United States veteran in our presence, we should give him a salute and a warm round of applause. And any other veterans, please stand. Any veterans in the audience, what for you veterans? What for you? This country would not be what it is for us to have these freedoms and to have taken on the challenges that we're confronted with, not only past and present, but in our future. So I thank you. With that being said, I'll get down to business, talking about you, future lawyers. Do you agree that you're a future lawyer? Let me hear you applaud if you are. It sounds to me like I'm in the right place. I'm going to talk a little bit about the legal business, about what future lawyers look like. And I can see what the future lawyers look like, but look to your left and your right and understand that person is going to be one of your future colleagues. Get to know them. Take some time. Find out what their ambitions are. You all can grow together as you take on the challenge of getting into law school. What I'd like to share with you is a little bit about myself, and it probably tells you why I take on some of the tasks that I do. I'm from a little small town called Benton Harbor, Michigan. Has anybody ever heard of it? Good. And the reason I say I see one hand is because at least one person knows I came from a real city. Benton Harbor, Michigan is 4 miles by 4 miles square. Whole city. Is there anybody from a city that's smaller than that? I normally lose all hands, but I got one of those too. So I've got 2 resident citizens in the room with me that will be able to understand my story. Well, I came from a little small town, started my practice. What you got to look at your intellectual intelligence, which is your IQ, but also look at your emotional intelligence, which is the EQ. The one thing about persuasive lawyers is that they merge the 2 of them. In looking at your checklist, you got to look at law school, look at what you're doing post law school, because it's really about selling your legal expertise. You know, the legal delivery now is really like a 3-legged stool. It's supported by the legal elements that you've learned, this technology, and the process in which you communicate it, and it's something that, from a fundamental perspective, lawyers do in their practice. Not much has changed since, I was in law school 30 years ago. As you've heard the stories, they're very true. You've got to be committed to it. You've got to make sure you understand that it's a challenge. And it's not only a challenge once a day, it's a challenge every day and all day. And the one thing I know with you future lawyers is you've got to enter into this marketplace with considerably more expertise and knowledge than those in the past. And this technology will help you get there. So I'm going to say, with this checklist of skill set items for future lawyers, understand where technology is going to fall into your application and the impact of law. Understand what that process means as far as the management of your time. Understand the basics of business fluency. it's very important that you're able to put together your client management along with the collaborations and actually selling your law firm, selling your skill set. Understand that your marketplace is now global because of the internet. You know, back in the good old days, I could talk about the little small town I'm from, but I'm no longer in a shell. I've got to stay in the forefront as you guys do in this global market. Understand the cultural awareness that you've heard about when you look at different global opportunities. And then understand the emotional intelligence, the people skills that it'll take to allow you to get to the finish line. The one thing about top lawyers is that their high intellect and their high level of people skills are what really makes the difference. That's what allows them to see that they're able to thrive in a way that many not before them. So no matter how persuasive technology becomes, you'll still need that personal element. And future lawyers, I represent to you that it's very important that you understand interpreting your data and your professional judgment is going to be critically important. So there's one vertical that has dominated law firms for many years, and that was just to really sell. And right now, with you having technology and the globalization of such, it's very important that you understand the demands from these clients with that 24/7, 365-day-a-year discussion I had with you. They want you to be accessible. They want you to be driven. They want you to be knowledgeable. They want you to be cost-effective. So understand that you don't compromise the quality of your work for the sake of cost-effectiveness, but you use all the resources and tools in building your practices as future lawyers. And this is a great opportunity for you future lawyers to bring millions of new customers into the marketplace, because the millennials are already impacting every facet of the universe that we're in right now. And I say the universe because in your tenure, you will actually be dealing with things outside of the United States of America and outside of the world as we know it. And I'll sum it up with this last situation that I encountered early on in my career. As he said, I sell a lot of music, I do a lot of television shows, I do a lot of literary properties. But there was a trip to the moon, space shuttle. And there was some music that was played for the astronauts. And if you look at any of those travels to the moon, they'll play Good Morning America or, Born in the USA. And if you play Born in the USA, you probably should write Bruce Springsteen a check. And so if you're a record label and you've got the right to Bruce Springsteen's music worldwide, that means worldwide. The moon just happens to not be in this world. It's in the universe. A good lawyer for Bruce Springsteen makes that phone call and goes, "Good morning, record label. Yeah, we heard Bruce Springsteen being played on the moon. You don't have those rights." They go, "Oh, yes, we do. We've got worldwide rights." We agree with that. You just have to have the rights in the universe. So with that being said, your world is rapidly changing. Understand it's no longer just the United States and globally. You've got a universe that you'll have to deal with. So I say for you future lawyers, the future you will recreate the future in the legal marketplace. You must zealously defend the rule of law. Most importantly, I remind you that being a lawyer and why you're part of this profession is, first of all, to guarantee the freedoms, to make sure that the rules of law are continued to be, defending those rules of law are protected, that you are ensuring that access to justice maintains itself, preserving our free press, ensuring diversity in the legal marketplace, and ensuring the adherence to ethical standards. I say that to you future lawyers because today may belong to the lawyers that are practicing law, but tomorrow belongs to you as future lawyers that will practice law. I thank you for hearing me out and enjoying some of the most valuable information that's been shared with you and some students and other lawyers. And I absolutely wish you guys well in the future. I certainly wanted to give a moment to answer any questions. I think I had 3 or 4 minutes for that. If there were any questions, I welcome them regarding getting into the practice of law, particularly entertainment law. Any at this time? Yes. No, that's a good question, and guess what? I got asked that question as well. And if I had a nickel for every time I was told that you couldn't practice entertainment law from the state of Texas, I would have a pretty nice-sized jug of nickels. But it really was. It's a true story. I mean, when I started working with David or with Sinbad, and I did have to go to New York and to LA, and I love visiting the cities. I'm just that good old Texas kid, now that I've been there. And so it's a matter of making that relationship, no differently than Paula said. We're here for a reason, giving this time to you. We want to meet you. I stand in front of my class in Texas and ask them, who do you know in the entertainment industry? And they go, nobody. I say, okay, so I guess I'm nobody. And I'm standing up in front of the class. We don't use our resources, and you really should. So make it your business to either contact, those of us that are here. My email address is easy. It's ricky@attorneyrickyanderson.com. I'm on Twitter and Facebook like everybody else. But I agree with Paula. I don't know I met you here. I really won't know how I met you, and you could be a spammer. So I would make sure that you communicate. Please follow up with us. And I definitely would tell more about, I'm happy to share more of a one-on-one with you regarding getting into the entertainment law.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I would like to know, transitioning into economy as well as residents in the millennium, what are some of the advantages and disadvantages that we may face as diverse communities background?
Well, you really have the benefits because it's less expensive. I mean, it's less expensive to make movies. It's less expensive to make records. Anybody with a laptop can really make a movie. You're really good. If you you can make one with your cell phone if you have the right apps. And the one thing about it, I did mention Chance the Rapper because he's the biggest name that you know. But the reason he doesn't want a record label deal is because he makes more money, than sharing it with the record label. And most of the record labels on a new deal, they're going to give you a 15% royalty, probably tops. 12, 14, 15. That's it. And he figured, why make 15% when I can make 100%? And don't represent him, don't want to make any, mischaracterizations, but he's a very wise man. And when you start looking at the opportunity to make independent films, when I was a kid, they had ABC, CBS, and NBC. Netflix is pretty big. They're looking for content. Amazon is trying to compete. You got so many other networks out here that will take your properties that would not before, or you can just get creative and create your own Roku channel. You got a good hot talent, you can create a Roku channel and make more money than you can, make doing probably most of the other jobs that are out here. I look at this business, and if you look at lawyers, it's $1 trillion business. I have to share that with you. When you look at entertainment, we've got what they call the Department of Commerce, the U.S. Department of Commerce. They issue a report every month, and it tells you what our gross national product is. Entertainment's always in the top 10 since I've been checking. It's been high as number 2. Okay. The professor and me just came out. Do you know what our number 1 gross national product is? Beg your pardon? That's exactly what it is. You've seen in one of my seminars before. But it is. Pharmaceuticals is our number 1 gross national product. Many people don't even know that that's what America is known for. So understand that a lot of those companies, they've got lawyers as well. I'm not here to just slant it into the entertainment space, even though that's my space. And I know that getting into the business, I was a litigator for the first 12 or 15 years. I did everything from Tupac Shakur litigation up to Universal Music and HBO and fighting everybody under the sun to earn my stripes, of which I do business with now. But I became transactional. And this is a great business. And so I'm encouraging, each of you in this room to give it, an option or a look.
So, did you say a triangle of representing actors and rappers?
I did everything from talent on television shows to feature films. You know, we've got some films in the can, like Boo just came out, right before Halloween. I did that. Got 4 talents in that show with Tyler Perry, so I represent a lot of the talents. I've got some production facilities that I worked on. You know, Steve Harvey and Yolanda Adams does her own thing. I mean, these radio shows, Ricky Smiley. So it's a number of them that do their own, their own thing. So yes, you start there, but you've also got production facilities that we represent. Judge Mathis is a long-term client of mine. He does a lot of production. People just, you just don't realize that that's the other side of his creativeness, not only on the judge show. Yes, ma'am. No, what I've received is when I go in to meet with Ron Myers, who's the president and CEO of Universal Pictures, every one of these films at NBC, and I say I'm from Thurgood Marshall School of Law, they go, he's got to be one of the baddest dudes out there. That's the response I get. He takes my calls first time. And I don't say that to put Ron on the spot. I'm just saying they've got the utmost respect for Thurgood Marshall School of Law because they think, he's like Thurgood Marshall. He's a very vibrant and brilliant African American, and I got to try to live up to that, And so it's a warm welcome to me. And the one thing that I have noticed, though, just because we're amongst family and friends, is sometimes we'll criticize us. But I represent to you the minorities, the non-minorities are not criticizing us. We're just amongst ourselves putting this little stain on the HBCUs. But when I walk in to ABC, like I'm going over there this afternoon, guarantee you they're waiting on me. Right? Good morning, America. They're waiting on me. When I walk in there, there'll be a big sign. Every time I go, they got this big sign at the door. Welcome, Attorney Ricky Anderson. That's what I get from ABC and NBC and Universal Pictures and Universal Music and Warner. I can go over to Warner right down the road. Sony. I don't even have to call. I can just tell them I'm in town. I'll get over there, and it's just the warmest welcome I've ever seen. So I've not personally seen a stigma on the HBCUs. And I hope that you guys don't let a personal stigma become part of the HBCUs. Keep that the balance of that bar very high. Make sure you walk in there going, hey, I'm on time, you're not late, don't miss appointments, the regular traditional work ethic that we've got to have, and keep it ethical. Because if it's a bad deal, you're going to meet good people with bad ideas. Tell them no thanks. You just got to say no. Somebody else had a hand up. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Throughout your entire legal career, or probably prior to obtaining it, what do you think was the strongest or most difficult challenge you struggled at the face, and how do you think that you might have successfully overcome it?
If I had to identify a challenge in my life, it's time management, because I enjoy doing a lot. And I say that no differently than being here today. And Attorney Drayton talked a little bit about it, but I'm the chair of the National Bar Association, the Entertainment and Sports Law section. I'm also on the Blue Ribbon Committee for the American Bar Association. I'm a governor for the Grammys. I'm a trustee down at Prairie View. I'm on the board of advisors over at Thurgood Marshall School of Law. And I can just go on, and all of these are different events. These are not part of my practice to say that I'm a professor and then I've got a full-time practice with a bunch of good clients. But I believe in giving back no different than being here. So time management, there is a point where you got to go, I can only do so much. I've got to, because it won't fit into your calendar. But my biggest challenge, even with you guys becoming young lawyers, manage what you take. Because I actually stopped taking clients. I'll go, I got enough, really. Because I got to be able to take those calls. When I get these calls at 4 in the morning before they go and start broadcasting, or right between their breaks, I've got to be able to take Monique's call when she's shooting a movie, or when somebody else is out here. I just always wanted to remain a great lawyer to my clients instead of just being so busy I can't return a phone call. Because one of the complaints about lawyers that you'll hear is they never get back to you, or they become, so inundated that you don't get the effective work. So I don't just take clients to upload my talent list. I basically want to be able to deliver the work. Okay. One more question.
Hi, I wanted to ask you, are there any podcasts or books that you read or following that's greatly influenced you, whether it be in the law field or law in general?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because this being the last question is a perfect segue. I would say, if you're interested in some reading materials, There's an entertainment law book that I authored, and I also have a music industry contract book, nice and full of information, including case law, background data. And since I got to write the book, definitely the one in music, I put in the Snoop Dogg case and the Ron Isley cases and the types of cases that I know are meaningful to us. And in entertainment law, I went historically as well as fast forwarding up to time of print, so that you've got current case law dealing with everything from Google litigation, AT&T, and some of these things in the digital divide. But I know my time has come to an end, and this book was to be presented to Attorney Evangeline Mitchell. Thank you for having me. I had a small token of appreciation for you.